up, guys? Crypto User here with your daily news and analysis in the crypto markets. Now, I have a video for you guys about a couple things. Obviously, we're going to talk about XRP, Ripple lawsuit, SEC corruption, all that I've been talking about for months now, I feel like. But I first want to talk about Matt Hamilton. He used to work for Ripple. Before he worked for Ripple, he was just a member of the XRP community. He's a coder, a developer on blockchain, so he's understands the technology, very in depth, right? More than most of us here on Twitter or in the space. He knows the ins and outs of the technology, right? So anybody that tries to come out and say XRP centralized, he's the first one to try to correct those people and maybe educate them and understand that XRP is highly decentralized and it's one of the best blockchains out there, right? So every time I see someone that, an XRP fudder out there, usually Bitcoin maxis, trying to downplay XRP's importance in the role it's going to have in the future of the financial system, calling it, centralized by Ripple, and then they can freeze accounts and all this FUD that you see, Matt Hamilton is always the first one to correct those people. Now, he pointed this out, and I thought this was great because, us in the XRP community have been calling this out for years, but now it's obvious, right? So what Matt pointed out was there's obvious bots out there that are spreading FUD about XRP. Who's controlling these bots? I mean, you guys can be the judge of that, but it's definitely happening. Now, Matt Hamilton tweeted out this: if ever you doubted that the concerted FUD against XRP is not scripted, now look at this. Now, this is just a bunch of random people, right? And actually, I'll read this too. It's not. You are just being told to repeat the same as everyone else without doing any thinking. Tell your handler to mix things up a bit, at least to make it a bit more obvious. Now, look at this. All different Twitter handles, right? You could probably think that these are just normal people out there, and maybe some are, and they're probably paid by these people to spread this FUD. But look at this. XRP supply and issuance are centralized and governed by a few authorities. That is the common thing you see in this thread. Centralized and governed by a few authorities. Here we go again. Centralized and governed by a few authorities. Again, centralized and governed by a few authorities. Is this a coincidence that just every single tweet just happens to have that one phrase here? And then look at it again. This is 4 tweets. And then look, another 5 tweets here. Centralized and governed by a few authorities. Centralized and governed by a few authorities. I mean, can it be any obvious, right? So anybody that ever doubted that there's definitely a FUD campaign out there against XRP, ever since I got into this space, right? Over 4 years now, there's always been this just constant attack on XRP. And why is that, you think? Because they feel threatened by the technology. Because they know it's a better technology than most cryptos out there. It's better for payments, it's faster, more greener, it's pre-mined, so you're not wasting energy on mining. I'm not bad-mouthing, proof of work systems like Bitcoin and Ethereum, but you can't argue with the fact that XRP is a better blockchain for payments, right? 3 to 5 seconds, right? Less than a penny to send for a transaction. You can't argue with these numbers. These are facts. Ethereum, high gas fees. It's almost impossible to use the Ethereum network for payments because the transactions, sometimes they take too long, sometimes they cost too much money, sometimes the transaction costs more than the actual money you're trying to move. I mean, how is that even efficient at all? That's the most inefficient processing network that I've ever seen. But people just love to say that Ethereum is the only, blockchain that's going to win out in smart contracts and for developers. But I think people are starting to realize that there's other solutions out there that are better, that are cost effective, greener for the environment. As much as people want to say, this and that about the environmentally friendly cryptos out there, that's going to be we can argue about that all day, but governments out there, that's a main thing that people talk about is the energy efficiency of Bitcoin, right? yes, Bitcoin is going to be around, right? But the mining of Bitcoin uses a lot of energy. So like I said, I'm not going to get into that, but I think we all understand that that's a big issue that Bitcoin has moving forward. But just wanted to point this out because this FUD campaign, like I said, has been going on forever. But just Matt Hamilton pointing out all these, obvious either bots or paid actors out there that are spreading FUD about XRP. And honestly, what that tells me is that they're afraid of XRP, right? They're afraid of XRP taking some of that that network away from either Bitcoin or Ethereum or any other blockchain out there. But just wanted to start the video with that. And before I get into the rest, if you guys could please like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. I'm trying to grow this channel as much as I can. I just got back from Florida, so I was on the road for the last week or so I couldn't put up videos as much as I wanted to. But I'm going to start getting them out there at least 3 or 4 times a week to get you guys up to date. Everything going on with the SEC versus Ripple lawsuit and everything going on in the news of crypto. I mean, a lot of things going on in the macro level. Obviously, supply chain issues, inflation. The stock market's been, having a tough time finding a bottom. So, it's been a weird couple months now in crypto and in stocks and obviously the world, right? You have to look at a more macro level of all these things together, because if you just look at crypto, you're going to say, oh, well, why is crypto falling? This is weird. Why is crypto falling? Is crypto, you're questioning if crypto is going to be around. It's just, you got to look at the big picture. It's not just crypto that's having a tough last couple months. It's the whole world and everything, right? So let's move on to the next thing here. So this is Ashley Prosper tweeted this out. And this is pretty interesting what's happening at the SEC. There's kind of been like a push against Gary Genslers' regulation by enforcement strategy. And I talked about it a couple of videos ago that this is a mass exodus from the SEC of people quitting because they don't like working for Gary Gensler. They don't like his the way he's going about things and the everything that he's started at the SEC. It just doesn't seem like a good strategy that most people think at the SEC. And you're seeing people quit by the droves. I mean, dozens of people are quitting the SEC because they don't like the way Gary Gensler does business, right? But just listen to this tweet here. Under Gary Gensler, SEC lawyers are leaving in record numbers. Some SEC officials are even helping to open new law firm offices that will have some focus on opposing the SEC's enforcement actions. Now, that is insane to me. Think about that for a second. People that worked at the SEC, they didn't like what Gary Gensler was doing, so they're leaving, right, by the dozens and actually starting law firms to oppose what the SEC is doing. I mean, if anything could tell you that, people do not agree with what Gary Gensler and the SEC is doing. I mean, even the people within the SEC are leaving to, stop the SEC from what they're doing. I mean, it's just insane. I don't think you've ever seen something like this ever happen before in the history of this country. It just shows you that the SEC is so dead wrong in what they're doing. They're killing innovation. They're hurting investors. And people are starting to take notice, right? Now look at this. Crypto Eddie even tweeted this out. I like to try. This is someone that left the SEC. I like to try cases. I also like to win, said a former SEC official who left to enter private practice. I was looking down the pipeline at the types of cases that the SEC is going to bring and not seeing a path toward victory on the SEC side. So these, attorneys and employees at the SEC, excuse me, these employees and attorneys at the SEC were seeing what the strategy of Gary Gensler and what they were going to do in the next couple months or years, and they were like, this is not a winning strategy. This is going to hurt the SEC. This is only going to hurt investors, hurt the SEC, hurt everybody as a whole. All this is doing, and I've said this time and time again on this channel, all this is doing is helping Gary Gensler. It's all about his pride. He wants to be Treasury Secretary, so he's doing all this to get a name for himself, but he cares nothing about it's unbelievable. Gary doesn't care about the U.S. investor, doesn't care about the U.S. Innovation in this new technology. He cares about himself. He cares about his him becoming the new Treasury Secretary, which I don't think is going to happen now. I mean, he's made such a bad name for himself, and I've said this time and time again on this channel too, that in these midterm elections, it seems like the Republicans are going to win out in the House and Senate. And if that happens, they're going to force Gary Gensler to resign. And I don't think, with all the bad press and everything happening, especially if that happens too, there's no way they're going to hire Gary Gensler as the Treasury Secretary. So this guy just dug himself a grave, basically, and there's no getting out of it. And it's his own damn fault, right? And I hope so. And I'm not getting political on the show, but I hope the Republicans win just so they can force that guy to resign, because this country is better off without him. We don't want to hear his name anymore. Get him out of here. We're all done with his antics, right? So moving on, Library tweeted this out. Millions of Americans are buying, selling, and using blockchain assets. None of these Americans are going to the SEC and asking to be protected. So who is the SEC actually serving? It's obviously not the American people. I mean, could it be any more obvious that the SEC works on behalf of the banks, right? They are the most corrupt agency ever. And this was known before this, this lawsuit against Ripple. But now, since this lawsuit, it's just gotten even worse, right? And now it's so blatantly corrupt that they don't even care, right? They're knowingly, being corrupt, and they're basically rubbing in our faces like, what are you going to do about it, right? This is why we need to keep writing our senators, writing our representatives, and at some point in time, there needs to be investigation. And now it gets so corrupt. Now look at this. This is unreal. New SEC, I tweeted this out yesterday, new SEC General Counsel paid by Citi and Citadel. Now, if you don't know what Citadel is, Citadel basically runs Robinhood, right? They're the backing behind Robinhood. And if you know everything that happened with the GameStop and all that stuff, Citadel basically was known to be, a fraudulent actor in that whole thing, right? And so get that. So new SEC General Counsel paid by Citi and Citadel, right? And guess what? Then I saw this in Blockworks this morning. Breaking: Fidelity and Citadel are building a crypto trading platform. Surprise, surprise, right? Now, if Citadel is basically running Robinhood and making tons of money with that, you see how much money is made on these crypto exchanges, right? You think that these big banks are not going to start, they don't want to get a piece of that action? And the SEC, who's supposed to regulate these spaces, you think they're going to stop Citadel and Fidelity from starting exchanges? They're going to help them out. Right, you see Gary Gensler attacking these crypto exchanges. You see him, they're going after Binance now. They went after Coinbase. They want to control this. The whole thing that I've been seeing from Gary Gensler and the SEC, they're trying to bring the power. I mean, they see the power being taken away from the banks and the financial system. They want that power back, right? They're not going to let this new asset class get taken over by this new set of banking. You call these exchanges probably banks. I mean, Ripple's basically going to be a bank. It's sooner or later, right? It's a kind of a new version of a bank, but it's with virtual currencies, it's basically a bank. Now, do you think that they're just going to let these new platforms and new exchanges take over this financial system without a fight? Obviously not, guys. And you think that the SEC is going to they're going to try to get their buddies, involved in this new asset class. So Citadel, Fidelity, you'll probably see JP Morgan, all these big institutions are going to try to get in this business obviously exchanges make the most money. I mean, the most money in crypto are made by the owners of these exchanges. Think about it, right? The FTX owner, I forget his name, it escaped me at the time, but then you got the Binance owner, you got Brian Armstrong at Coinbase. These are the richest people in this space. They own the exchanges. Is it surprising that they are the richest people? No, because the exchanges, this is why we need regulation, because these exchanges, just the price gouging is unbelievable. They get you, buying, selling with the fees. They get you, if you want to take your crypto off the exchanges and your bank account, they get you a fee there. It's basically the same tactics that the big banks use when you try to, take out money from ATMs and overdraft fees. It's all about the fees, right? And it's all about the hidden fees. Coinbase, and that's why I don't use Coinbase anymore. The hidden fees are unbelievable. They get you and then they have Coinbase and Coinbase Pro, and it's different transaction fees on both platforms, even though they're the same, owned by the same company. It's just, it's BS, right? That's why we need crypto regulation. But the SEC loves to go after, Ripple and Library and EOS and companies that are actually doing stuff and like lending products that actually help the investor. But then when exchanges are basically robbing us blind, they do nothing. And yeah, they're going after exchanges right now, but not really, not to help investors. They're going after exchanges because they said they're selling securities, which is BS, right? Oh, it's unbelievable. But yes, the corruption is there. And obviously, and I'll go back real quick. I mean, if the SEC General Counsel is paid by Citi and Citadel, then obviously Citadel is going to get their trading platform and with the help of the SEC. Now, moving on. Now, Eleanor Tourette, Fox Business reporter, just put out a article going over the ins and outs of the whole Ripple versus SEC lawsuit. It's a must read, especially people who haven't really been following the lawsuit. Even if you have been following the lawsuit, it gives you information that you maybe didn't know, right? Definitely, if you see it, share it, try to spread this information, because it's finally mainstream. We got Fox Business putting out an article. I mean, I've seen Forbes Rosalind Layton put out articles about this a couple times, but Fox is a huge mainstream media outlet. So yes, it would be nice to have more, CNBC, CNN, New York Times, all these other news outlets should be covering this case, and it's amazing that they don't. It's kind of telling also, but it's good to see that Eleanor Tourette is definitely educating herself. She knows the ins and outs of this case, and like I said, definitely if you see this, spread this information, spread out this article, and I just wanted to put that out there because I thought this was great. So moving on to the next thing here, just a quick partnership that we've known about Novati and Ripple. They've been partners. Novati is a payment provider. It's like 50. They work with 50 different countries worldwide. They transact about, I think, $3 billion annually. Now they are using Stellar and Ripple in their new payment products. So Novati announces stablecoin deals with Stellar and Ripple. Now it's a quick minute clip. I'll just show you real quick. If I can click it.
Novati has recently announced 2 deals around your stablecoin services. Talk us through it.
We've been able to announce partnerships with both Stellar and Ripple, 2 of the major cross-border blockchain networks, both based out of Silicon Valley and both with very high market capitalizations relatively. Ripple we've done a lot of work with in the past for cross-border payments, and Stellar we had started on a blockchain program with them a number of years ago, but now we're really bringing it to life. So we're building a multi-chain stablecoin service, initially on both the Ripple and Stellar chains. And in fact, what's a great thing is both Ripple and Stellar are largely funding the development work and even some of the marketing work that we do to get our stablecoin service out. So the stablecoin will be a dollar for dollar backed Australian dollar stablecoin. So we are a licensed company. We'll be running our funds in trust accounts, and then we've got an Australian dollar stablecoin named AUDC, somewhat in line with the nomenclature of the US stablecoin USDC.
I know Novati has recently announced 2.
Now, you're going to see more and more of this. That's why, when I bought XRP 4.5 years ago, XLM was always like the younger brother, basically, of XRP. So you'd always see, when you see XRP jump in price, you see XLM kind of go with it. XLM is basically the same technology, the same thing as XRP, right? If you don't know, Jed McCaleb was one of the initial developers of the XRP ledger. He was his idea actually to have a better Bitcoin that didn't have to mine coins, right? So it was Jed McCaleb, Arthur Brito, and David Schwartz they developed the XRP ledger. And then when there was a business dispute or whatever with Jed McCaleb, he then left XRP and Ripple and went and started Stellar. But XLM is basically almost the same thing as XRP. It's fast, it's cheap, it's pre-mined, so they kind of go hand in hand, right? When I see if XRP is going to make it, XLM will make it too. So if you are, and this is not financial advice, but if you are invested in XRP, wouldn't be a bad thing to also invest in XLM, because I believe they both will be used for payments worldwide in the new financial system. So this is just want to throw that out there, because this is just another deal that Ripple's making with another payment provider, but also Stellar. Also, Stellar is working with MoneyGram, and they just announced they're moving on with their products, their payment system with MoneyGram. So, as this technology gets more and more adopted, you're going to see more and more payment providers out there like Novati to start using crypto solutions. And XRP, XLM, Algorand, IOTA, those are the top. XDC, Hedera, Hashgraph. Those are the top, faster, cheaper products or cheaper platforms that will be, great for payments in this new financial system when it gets rolled out in the next couple of years. So definitely keep an eye on those coins. Not financial advice. I want to end the video real quick with this. This is going to be huge. They're having a what is it? A hymn and speech. This is so it's I guess it's called a live cast, but it's going to be Crypto Law TV live cast. They're going to have John Deaton, Jeremy Hogan, J.W. Verrett, which is an attorney who used to work for the SEC, Eleanor Tourette, who is we just talked about, she's the Fox News reporter, Jason Foster, who is the guy that runs Empower Oversight, the guys that are suing the SEC and asking through FOIA requests all the information on the conflicts of interest with the SEC. So these are some, all the heavy hitters in the XRP community with this SEC lawsuit, and also, 3 out of the 5 people are attorneys. So this is going to be huge. It's going to be 7 p.m. on June 14th, Tuesday. Just throwing it out there because, if you guys have been following this case and you want more information, this is going to be the time and space that you want to listen to get all that information. So just wanted to share this with you guys, and I'll share that on my Twitter page. If you guys don't follow me, it's CryptoMuser on Twitter, and I'll be sharing that so you guys can maybe spread it out to the rest of the community. And like I said, definitely tune in on Tuesday, June 14th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. But I will end the video there, guys. Please like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. But remember, I'm not a financial advisor. Please do not take anything I write or say as financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. And thanks, guys, and we will see you on the next one.